Hello people of YouTube, it's Deephack here, and welcome to DCS World 2.9.16 and Eagle Dynamics AH-64D Apache module. Welcome to tutorial 14, BAM, or Battle Area Management. This is the system in the Apache that allows us to create priority fire zones and no fire zones. These are useful for assigning flight members areas of responsibility, protecting friendly troops, and they also adjust the prioritization of the FCR. So, without any further ado, let's jump into the cockpit, and I'm here centered down on the right-hand multifunction display as the CPG, and I'm going to go ahead and just do, I'm going to select the FCR as my sensor and do a single scan. This will kind of pre-populate our TSD with some targets, which is going to be my starting point. Battlefield area management is all done in the TSD, by the way, and as is always the case, these FCR symbols are automatically overlaid. So, for starters, let's imagine that this group here is actually friendly, and in these vehicles in the kind of further away area are what we're actually interested in. So let's select BAM at the bottom of our TSD. And at the top here, we can choose the type. You've got PF for priority fire zones. These are areas that we want to engage. And you've got NF for no fire zones. So let's do the NF first. The NF is very, very simple. We only have an option of how you want to draw them, either lines or boxes. A box will allow us to place 2 points using the cursor, and then the system will automatically make a box out of them. Let me just get my cursor onto the right MFD. So in box mode, I can simply depress the cursor and then pull out a box and then click again, and that will create my area. Or if I instead choose line, I can do a more free-form four-sided polygon, kind of like this. There you go. And that's automatically created no fire zone number 2. So we've now got number 1 and number 2. I'm going to take number 2 and I'm going to accept it, and you'll see that that then labels it. I'm going to go back to, no fire zone number 1 and delete it and say yes, I don't actually want that one. And with no fire zone 2 selected, I can activate it. And when it's activated, you'll see that the dashes march around. This means that this will immediately take effect with regards to prioritization. So let's see what that does. If I go back to the FCR, these zones are repeated on the FCR if they're active. Let's do a scan, because you'll note that previously the next to shoot was inside the no fire zone. You'll see now it's not returning any targets in the no fire zone at all, and it's now suggesting that we attack these targets at the back. Perfect, that's what we wanted. Let's go back to the TSD. Let's go back to battle area management, and now let's take a look at the PF, the priority fire zones. So we've got a variety of options when it comes to these. If I click here, we can have auto, manual, or TRP. TRP standing for target reference point. If we select auto, the system will automatically subdivide any polygon that we draw into the selected number of zones. By default, that is 4 zones. So let's take a look at how that looks. I'm actually going to make it 2. You can have it all the way up to 8. So we want to make an equal area of 2 zones. You would probably do this if you were a 2-ship and you wanted to give 1 zone for yourself and 1 zone to your wingman. Let's put it back into draw box. And let's draw a box over here where, oops, that didn't work. Let's try again. There we go, over these 2 guys here. I'm going to depress, and you'll see that it immediately created 2 zones of equal size, Priority Fire 1 and Priority Fire 2. And currently neither of these is active. Let's say that we want to take Zone 1. We could choose Active, choose PF1, and you'll see that the lines are marching. Perfect. If I go back to the FCR, let's again do a single scan and see how that affects the prioritization. There you go. Our next to shoot is now the target inside the priority fire zone. So, a quick recap with regards to prioritization. Targets detected within no fire zones will never be prioritized at all. In fact, they won't even be returned. targets within the priority fire zone will always take priority over all other targets, no matter which prioritization scheme is selected. And then, only once all the targets within the priority fire zone are prioritized, will targets outside of the zone be put into the list of priority targets. So, that's how all of that works. Back to the TSD here. I'm going to go back to BAM. Also note, active priority fire zones don't have their label, so you just have it kind of marching like that. So yeah, box, number of zones. We can delete the current zone, we can choose which zone is active, and we can choose the way the zone's kind of metered out. Note that across the top and down the right hand side we have controls for the data link. I currently have 3 other flight members. I can choose which flight members I'd want to communicate with, and I have options to send. We're going to cover that in a dedicated data link video, so just be aware you have data link controls across here and down the right hand side. And the pan and show controls work as normal. I could hit pan and actually move my view around. That might make it easier for me to create zones not super close to my aircraft. But we're doing ones close to the aircraft, so that's not a big problem. Nice. So, you can also click ASN and actually just display all the flight members that you want to send stuff to, but we're going to forget about that just now. So, the next one, let's make another PF. This time we're going to do it manually. And let's say, again, we just want 2 zones. I'm going to keep it quite simple. So, let's draw a box. Oops. Depress. Hello? Okay, it's not working. Why is it not working? Do I have to have none selected? That's interesting. Or do I have to delete the current one before it's going to let me do this? Yes, okay, I didn't realise that. Apparently we need to delete the existing one. I'm going to draw 1 box there. That gives me PF1. You'll see that I still have another zone to draw. So I'm going to draw a zone here. Oops, and drop it there. And that will be PF2. So this has allowed me to do free form zones that are not in contact. Note that my PF2 is overlapping a no-fire zone. Be aware that even though this is a priority fire zone, the area of it that is covered by the no-fire zone will count as a no-fire zone. No-fire zones always take priority. So that's kind of handy. So we could draw this around friendly troops and not worry too much about how we're drawing the priority fire zones close to them. And again, let's go ahead and activate PF2. You'll see it's marching around again. Let's go back to FCR. Let's go and do another scan here. And it's going to prioritize targets within that zone only. Very, very simple. Let's go back to the TSD again. Go back to BAM. And the last one we have is TRP. This is a very, very simplistic mechanism. Let's just delete the ones we've got just now. This is a very simplistic mechanism. All you do is you choose the size of the area you want to create, and it will automatically subdivide it into 4. And we can do that from here. We can do 1, 2, or 3 kilometer boxes. So I could even just actually dump this over the whole area like this. Depress. We automatically get 1, 2, 3, 4 in a kind of clockwise fashion. I can activate the one that I want to make use of. I'm gonna attack targets in. Let's try PF3. See if there's anything in there. As before, the no fire zone applies even where it overlaps. And I could now go into FCR, do a single scan, and it's only going to return targets within that zone. I actually don't have any targets within that zone, so it'll then prioritize everything outside of that and outside of the no fire zone. So very, very simple. And of course the purpose of this would be that you could hand off zones to other members of your flight. You can actually assign zones, you can actually transmit all of the zones to all of your flight members so that they can see them, and then you can assign particular flight members to particular zones. So those are the basics of priority fire zones and no fire zones in battle area management. Just to go over it again, we have the type. You've got PF or NF. You can choose how you're going to draw them, automatic, manual, or TRP. You can choose which one is currently active. You can delete the zones you've already drawn. I'm going to say no, actually. Let's choose automatic. And then if you're in automatic or manual, you can choose how many zones you want to draw and which method, whether it's box or line. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed that. Fly safe, and I'll see you all next time.